What's going on, Duck Commander? This is Connor here with Tournament Technologies, and today we're going to be rigging out Justin Martin's Express X19 boat with some new Humminbird products. We've got an Explorer 10 and an Explorer 12. These are both going to be going on the bow. One's going to be for his new Mega Live 2, and the other one's going to be for mapping. And then we're going to be adding an additional Explorer 12 in the near future back here at the console when they are available after the Classic. We're also going to be installing a 12-volt, 135 amp hour MillerTech battery in his boat, and that's going to be strictly for his electronics. That way he doesn't have any draw on his house battery, and he's going to be able to fish all day with that. And we're going to be adding a couple other, little accessories along the way and changing up some of the wiring and some interference issues he's been dealing with for the last year. Should be a fun rig. Y'all stay tuned, and we're going to walk you through this one. Alright, so we just got done tearing the bow of this boat apart. That way we could see what we're all working with in here. We've got the Mega Live de-rigged. His Helix 12 is off. All the power's pulled out. And all we're fixing to do is now pull his transducer off of the foot of the trolling motor, because we're not going to be using that for the new Explorer units. We're fixing to work our way back to the console and get all that de-rigged. That way we can make sure we've got what we need there. And we're going to start making some adjustments on his power. We're going to end up installing a labeled bus block in here. That way if he has an issue, he can double check everything here. All of his units are going to be, like I said, labeled and independently fused. That way he's got circuit protection. And we're going to keep on plugging along on this thing. Lord, what a hose. Essentially what we're going to do is start from the ground up back here and rebuild him a complete battery box with a lot less switching. That's one thing he requested, a lot less switching, making everything a lot simpler to where he's not having to turn off 1, 2, 3, 4 for the trolling motor. So 4 on-off switches every time he puts the boat in or out of the water. Alright guys, so we just got done dropping all of Justin's batteries in. Like we talked about, we made some room for the 135 amp hour MillerTech lithium that we're putting in for his electronics. Still able to get his 3 AGM X2s in here that he's going to be powering his trolling motor with, and all of his lights, bilge pumps, all of his switching, his cranking battery obviously, for his motor and his rafters. So we're going to start making sure all of our wires are labeled and getting a game plan of where all they need to run to. We're going to build him a different panel that's going to fit in here a little bit better for all of his switching. We're going to be installing them on our dual switch battery plate that we manufacture. So as you can see, it's labeled. He's got electronics on one side and then house power on the other. So he'll have independent switching for both his house and electronics. The electronics is obviously going to go to the 135 amp hour MillerTech battery that we dropped in. And the house power switch is going to go to his X2. That's going to be, like I said, his cranking batteries, pumps, lights, everything like that. So we're going to keep plugging on and see if we can get this cleaned up for him. Alright guys, so we just got our main power switches installed for our electronics in the house power. We're going to do a little bit more wire cleanup and everything, but we're probably going to keep pressing on tomorrow on this install, and it'll be jumping up there to the bow and installing his two front units and that new Mega Live. So we'll catch y'all here in a little bit. So now we're going to start moving our way forward through the boat, get everything wired up for his new Explorer units and also his Mega Live 2. We've gone ahead and pulled the bow panel off so we can access all of his wiring up there. We're going to go ahead and start by taking this Helix gimbal off, replacing it with a dual L bracket there, and we're going to go ahead and mount up his gimbals for his Explorer 10 and his Explorer 12. And then, like I said, we're just going to keep pressing on with wiring everything up. And hopefully we'll be done sometime around lunch today so we can get everything powered on for y'all and kind of show you a little walkthrough on these new Humminbird units. They're pretty impressive, so should be a good one. Double check we got clearance from the trolling motor and everything like that, and then we're going to move forward with wiring up power and installing his new Mega Live 2 transducer. And then after that, it's pretty much just going to be tidying everything up, cutting everything on, and making sure it all works. Alright guys, so we just got his Ethernets all wired up and cleaned up, everything routed to the front, that way we can go ahead and start dropping his Mega Live 2 on. You can see that we went ahead and labeled everything on his Ethernet switch box, that way if he ever has an issue he knows exactly what cable's going to what, and he can diagnose it on the water, on the fly. And that's one of the critical things we try to do here, is to make sure that if you don't have to go see somebody, or you don't have to come back and see us for the little things that may happen on the water, you know, we want you to be able to take care of your own stuff as much as possible. So we try to make that as easy as possible here. So just like we said, labeling everything on those Ethernet switches is just one of the things that we try to do to make it easier on the customer. So we're going to keep on pressing towards the front of this boat. We're going to get everything wired up for his Explorer 10 and 12 and Mega Live 2, and then it'll just be powering everything on and double checking everything. One of the critical things that I do see a lot of people forget, or a lot of questions about online, is what to do with the gray wire that comes out of the wiring harness. You'll see it referred to as a lot of different things: RF ground, shield wire, water ground. Basically what you want to do is you want to tie this in with your negative wire, and what that does is that is going to attract any stray frequency or stray voltage and put it back into the power harness and run it back to the boat and ground it back out. That way you're getting a lot less interference, if any at all, from your electronics, trolling motor and stuff like that. If you have a lot of interference issues between transducers and stuff like that, that's one thing to double check. And you can also do some different things as far as grounding different things to different spots in the boat, stuff like that, especially on these aluminum boats. That was one of the things that he was struggling with a lot, was interference between his side imaging transducer that he was running previously. So we're going to go through and we're going to install a ground harness in the boat as well. That way he didn't have any interference issues. But just wanted to touch base on that real quick, because that's something I see a lot of questions on, and or a lot of people forget when they're doing these installs like this. Alright guys, so we're moving on to the final part of this installation, which is going to be his Mega Live 2 transducer. You can definitely tell just when first opinions of taking it out of the box, it's definitely beefed up. You can see that the arrays are a little bit different. They've got an upgraded mount on this one as well, which is going to be really, really critical for a lot of guys. You'll have some different adjustment locations and stuff like that. They've changed some of the cable material as well. It seems to be a better material. Can't wait to get this one out on the water. It's going to be really, really cool to see it. This will be my first time on the water with one personally, but we're going to go ahead and get this slapped on and line the rest of this installation out, and then walk you guys through how we're going to go about setting everything up. Alright guys, so we got everything test fit. We're doing the first startup of everything. So we're going to go through and basically just set everything. Every setup or every initial setup is going to be different depending on the boat and everything. So we're just going to set it up to his specifications. So everything really right out of the box is going to be okay. So we're going to go ahead and push continue and confirm. And being that they're networked together, they're automatically going to pick up as soon as you push continue on one unit. And we don't have a transducer connected to either of these right now, because basically what he's going to be using these front two for is this one's going to be just strictly for a map, and he'll pull the sonar source off of the rear unit when it gets in after the Bassmaster Classic, and then the 12-inch unit is basically just going to be for his new Mega Live 2, which as you can see we got that all installed on the trolling motor, routed down nice and neat. Got a wet switch on it, so it's going to say Mega Live is disabled and out of the water, so that's going to be normal there. I'm going to double check that our network's working and operational. Got Mega Live able to be viewed on both units here, and everything else is going to be the same. Now the nice thing about these new Explorers, they do come preloaded with the LakeMaster VX mapping, so there's no more buying cards, anything like that, and they will share to your existing Solix G3 units and any Apex units you already have. So if you guys are in the market for a larger screen, the Explorers only come up to a 12, but some guys like to run like a 16 at the console. If you're running Explorer units up at the bow, you don't have to buy map cards for your Apex or your Solixes that you're going to have back there at the console anymore, which is going to be really, really, really nice because as many of y'all know, LakeMaster cards, they can get expensive quick, especially if you're fishing around the country and you need multiple regions and for multiple units. So that's another nice feature. And you'll basically have all the functionality that you've grown used to with Humminbird. So you're going to have your side, down, 2D sonar, everything like that, like we covered LakeMaster mapping. But we are going to be looking at a new operation system on this one. You can see the interface is a lot cleaner, a lot more user-friendly. There's a lot more that's going into this one with some new waypoint management features, which are going to be really nice. You guys can check out all the features on Humminbird.com, and be sure to check out their YouTube channel and where they do full walkthroughs on everything that they've got. We're going to continue buttoning everything up, put a couple more clamshells, a couple more wire ties on some stuff, neaten a few more things up, and we're going to wrap this install up.
Let me tell you something right here, son. For a North Louisiana bass, that's the only color you need.
Black and red?
Yeah.
Blaze.
I'm gonna try it.
No, I didn't say you could have
Yeah,
it. No, I didn't say you could have
Look, he won't
that
give me the juice. I need the juice.
one. No, you
not
put that one back. You can have it in black and blue, but that black and red, so he gets bit.
It's good.
So I'm about to go pan around here and see, because this would be a cool one too. Oh, you watching, Jerry? Watch this. That's that good right there. There's little in this world more satisfying than a screen peel. I love it. Go ahead and power on. The new Explorer. And then we'll get the OG Helix powered on. Make sure I've got all my power right. Let's go. All right, boys. It's been a while. I ain't even got no old tracks over here. I have to remember how to run this thing. Pretty safe once you get past these trees. There is a little gap you got to shoot in these trees. That's what we want right there, wherever that is. That bait ball on that tree. Good, man. Check. Missed him. Oh. Up under there. They both got it. Oh, big dog. Big dog. Yes, sir. Don't you do it. Hey, they still bite crankbaits, y'all. Ain't that wild?
Mega Live 2 or
Mega Live 2, baby. They still bite crankbaits though. They still bite a DT6. Look at that. Grapple a DT6 to the jaw. Look at that pretty thing, man. He's beautiful. Football, man. Golly. Thank you, Jesus. Hey, we got one. Wasn't on Mega Live, but it was on the way I like to catch them. Pretty bad. See, bud. I mean, that's perfect. Like, seawall, rock transition, mud. That one got a tumor. What's up there, Can? Any of y'all banded? Success, I would call that. Everything works, everything's good. I know where everything is. I caught a bass. Not off of Mega Live, but I caught a bass on a DT6, so they do still bite crankbaits. That makes me feel good. Fish actually do what they used to do before forward fishing sonar came out. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tried to let y'all see just a setup of, you know, that's a very realistic setup for a lot of people. Not, you know, some of the professional anglers have, you know, 57 inches of screen and, you know, 7 different transducers. I got one transducer. I'm getting another one for the back so that I can take full advantage of the one boat network option. But after that, I'll be done, and all in, not that bad for the upgrades like that I got. Mega Live 2 is legit. You can see. Now I just got to figure out what I'm seeing, because I don't know that. That's not the transducer's fault. I know my bait. I know they were fish. I just don't know what kind of fish. So, yeah, we're going to have some more fun out of that. I'm going to keep working off camera to try to get better at that style of fishing, just because, you know, sometimes it'd be fun. But you know me, next time you see me, I'm probably going to be swimming a jig or, you know, throwing a buzz bait or a chatterbait or something. I'm going to be up shallow doing what I do. So, yeah, we're going to have some fun. Got some cool things coming for y'all this summer on Finn. We're doing a lot more of this kind of stuff this year, so really putting a commitment into this. So you'll see a lot of me, a lot of Godwin, now that he's happily retired. And so, yeah, we're gonna have fun. Y'all check us out. We'll see y'all next time right here on Fin Commander. We're out.